decimating career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history.
Touchdown, Washington Redskins! This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the debacle of a game between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. What happened?
God!
This and much more live with Aaron and John.
Oh, Aaron.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Oh, I hear it.
Heineke.
It's getting louder and louder.
Heineke. What? Carson Wentz is done. Carson Wentz is done. We've seen everything that's bad about him, and it's an awful lot of bad. This guy's done. We may not win another game this year if he keeps starting.
There are multiple times in this game where I saw where I saw the PTSD that you were talking about. All right, like,
oh my God,
he would just start ducking and like double clutching and double pumping and then overthrowing dudes when there was no one about to hit him.
Yep, the guy's seeing a bunch of shadows out there. He has no idea. He's dude. What were we talking about when we signed him? And we're going to talk about the other quarterbacks that were all free agents and whatnot in the offseason before this episode's over. But when we signed him earlier this year, and Aaron and I were both like, all right, I guess we'll see what we can do because he could throw the ball like 100 yards, but he's fragile up here. He's fragile in the head.
Dude, he made like 2 good passes in this game. And the rest were horrible, like overthrows at dudes' feet.
Mostly overthrows. The guy's like 6'6", and he's overthrowing people.
Well, that one pass that I'm specifically remembering was kind of like an 8-yard out pattern to someone to the right side.
Right.
And he had like so much time for once, because I can't say that the O-line doesn't suck.
Right.
But he had
of course.
And he like double clutched it. Like, do I really want to throw it? And then he threw it over his head. I think it was McKissick. I don't remember. But I'm like,
probably
dude,
his timing's off. He's just, it's amazing that a guy who has such a lack of pocket presence
is none.
Has no pocket presence at all. But he's like seeing shadows all around him, and when he doesn't see shadows, he's getting tackled. So he's just like, oh no, the ball got knocked out. Oh crap.
Dude, how many? I want to know this. I think it's 5. But how many intentional grounding penalties does he have? Like, if he's got such a strong arm, why is he letting dudes getting him intentional grounding penalties? Why isn't he throwing it 50 yards out of bounds?
Out of bounds. Because the guy doesn't know how to check down. He has no idea how to check down. He has no idea how to throw it out of bounds. He's always trying to extend the plays. Oh!
He's bad. Hey, look who's in the chat room. It's Kenny Ken.
Kenny Ken. What's up, Kenny Ken?
Kenny Ken from Canada.
Dude, it's
Kenny Ken from Canada. You're listening to Harry Hog Football.
And if you guys are listening to Harry Hog Football, you can come join us in our Discord room. It's all all Redskins / Washington Football Team / Commanders fans in our Discord room. And you can go to it by going to, it's so tiny on here. Oh, it's tinyurl.com.
I just realized
Harry HF. Is it on there?
Yeah. I just realized I had the audio way low in there. So if you pop into the live podcast room, you can actually watch in there.
Yeah.
If you want. Or you can watch on YouTube. It doesn't matter. It seems like most people just like to watch on YouTube and then chat in the Discord room.
Yeah.
Either way. And then now supposedly Spotify has video, although I've only been able to find it once. But I'm uploading a video podcast to Spotify after we record, and then supposedly gets put out to all these other places. P.S. The DraftKings dude contacted me again.
Really? You got to send me that email because I never looked up that old one. I don't even know when it was sent. Oh,
That recording is over 15 years old. What is he talking about?
him saying, "This is Kenny Ken from Canada."
I thought if you guys didn't see it, I did a whole brand new intro for Harry Hog Football. We got rid of those graphics from like 2006 with the spinning stadium.
and the Carolina Panthers. Ironically, the Carolina Panthers Stadium.
Yeah, because John is a Comanther fan.
I'm a Comanther. I take command. Take command.
It's John. It was you at the Panthers Stadium saying, "I am pumped." I think back when we could truly get pumped for games, even though we got ripped off in that one with that rule change thing that
was illegal at the time, but is not legal anymore. Yeah,
that thing. That was the
That's
beginning.
gotten you a few times over the years.
It's the beginning of me not knowing the rules.
Beginning of you not knowing the rules, but at that time it was still like illegal, wasn't it? I don't even know anymore. There's been so many things where you're like getting halfway banned from stadiums. Carolina, Green Bay. Ironically enough, not FedEx crappy field.
Oh no, I've never almost gotten banned from there.
We even had to.
I almost got shot there once. I almost got shot.
Yeah, true. And we also Eagles fan. Yeah, we didn't see that guy though. So.
Well, we heard there was a gun. There's a gun. Aaron, get down. I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm so mad we got ripped off by that pass interference play down by the 5-yard line. Was that called on Sean Taylor? I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember.
Or no, it was not Taylor. It was, I think it was Fred Smoot.
Lake Minnetonka himself.
Discord chat. Let me refresh it. Object. That still isn't fixed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Fred Smoot cracks me up. I love listening to him on the radio. I haven't heard him this year, though. Maybe he's just doing like Redskins stuff and, I don't know, party boating. I mean, why not?
Kenny Ken wants a ha ha ha, please. Is that the Joe Gibbs one? Or is it the Josh Allen one?
What?
Dude.
I don't know which one. Yes, I like to watch you on YouTube and talk the smack. I'm going to talk some smack. Especially this is going towards Kenny Ken because he was joking me about my pickups in the league, and now I'm 2-2. And
in the Harry Hog Football Fantasy Football League.
Yeah, and I'm only supposed to win 3 games all year, according to the draft experts, the pundits,
like the Commanders, like the pundits.
the Fantasy Football League pundits say that I'm going to go 3-10 or 13 or whatever it is, depending on how many games we play in there. 3 wins is what I remember, and I've already got 2. So you know what? You know who got me 50 points this week, dude? That guy that you were joking from the Lions, TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, yeah, Hackensack.
He got me like some 40-some points.
Hackensack got you 40-some points? How? I guess he got scored a couple touchdowns?
I don't know, like 48 points, and I actually won my game for once.
Wow. Good job, Hackensack.
That was awesome. Oh, he wants this one. I know what he wants. Hey, you guys, you know why we got beat this week? Because
we are the Commanders.
We weren't commanding very much. I can tell you that.
We lost 25-10, but that game was way over before that.
You know what Dallas was saying to us at the end of the game?
We feel sorry for you guys. To what? I have no idea what that says.
You still can't hear that sound effect for some reason. That's so weird. It's the ah ha ha sound effect. Remember the one you're like, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it sound right to you, Kenny Ken?
Ha ha!
I don't know.
I think it's cute on Jason Wright on that one. Ha ha.
I need to do like a remix of it, like I can put it in Suzanne's. I can put it in Suzanne's keyboard and then like play it as like a sample, like and like record a whole song. We'll get Bay to record Hail. We'll get Bay to record Hail to the Redskins using a sample of that. Oh my gosh. Sounds good on YouTube, he said.
I don't understand that.
You know it doesn't sound good?
We are the Commanders.
Being 1-3.
We suck. We have a quarterback that the team does not believe in.
Did you hear what Ron Rivera, all of his excuses afterwards? You know what he said?
It doesn't matter. But go ahead and say it, because I'm also done with Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, man.
Doug, what is it?
Doug, what is it?
Tell him, Doug.
Doug, what is it?
Doug, what is it? Like, I'm annoyed. Dude, I'm not the one that's gonna break this to the fans. I'm gonna throw you under the bus.
Doug, what is it?
It was good. I thought it was good that he had Doug do it.
Commanders.
I thought they just did a terrible job of doing it, just like everything else. Just like everything else. By the way, if someone got one of those Washington Commanders mugs with the state of Washington behind the W, I really want one. You can send it to me at Harry Hog Football.
Dude, I can try to make you one on my laser. I'll download an outline of Washington in the W, and then how hard is that for me to print up? I could put it on a pint glass for you. Speaking of,
funny.
Firefly conceded some bet he made with Kenny Ken about us winning 16 games this year or something.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he said he has to buy Kenny Ken a Harry Hog merchandise of his choice. I think the Washington State pint glass might be the
Washington State pint glass might be the way to do it. Harry Hog's football's own exclusive item. Exclusive.
We can even put Kenny Ken's name on the back. Kenny Ken in Canada.
I think part of the problem is that these headphones are old. I'm getting a new pair of headphones tomorrow, actually, in the mail.
So you don't have to wiggle your wire anymore?
I hope not.
All right, let's get to this debacle. The offense was atrocious.
Do we really have to talk about this game?
We could just play the ah-ha-ha sound effect over and over and get more people calling us Beavis and Butthead on iTunes if we want. Ha-ha-ha! All right, I want to bring this up because they brought it up in the peanut gallery. There was a picture posted from... Notice that Dan Snyder hasn't reared his ugly head around FedEx this year that anyone's seen. But he was sighted in Dallas in a photo with Jerry Jones.
Yep.
And did you notice what he was wearing?
His best friend, Jerry Jones. I noticed he didn't have any burgundy on.
You know what he did have on? Blue, darker blue, and gray or silver.
Yep.
To which I say... He's been conning us all these years, dude. He's Jerry Jones's crony. That Jerry Jones wanted to put him in place. He's probably been funding him because you know his businesses suck since the long distance thing went out the window. And who actually goes to Johnny Rockets unless you're trapped? Six Flags. Yeah. Who actually goes to Johnny Rockets unless you're trapped in some mall and it's the only place open at like 12 midnight before you fly somewhere? And then you still. So he's got these fake businesses that he's running. Jerry Jones has put him in place as a puppet to ruin our franchise over the last 20 years or more. And I think he's done a pretty good job of it. Mission accomplished. Jerry Jones, slow clap.
I would not put it beyond Jerry Jones,
Skeletor,
and his son. Doing that. But I think it's just because Dan Snyder's just an ass.
He's not a true fan.
He's not a true fan. He says he's been a lifelong fan of the Redskins / Washington football team / Commanders.
You wouldn't be in Dallas wearing Dallas colors during our game or any game.
Yep.
No way, dude. No way. All right, back to the game.
Yeah.
Wentz, I'm done with Wentz. I'm done. I gave him 4 weeks. And he was exactly what Philadelphia and the Colts fans were screaming.
Especially the Philadelphia fans, because they had him when he was good before he started getting hurt. And then afterwards, they were just like, "What are we going to do with this guy? This guy was great, and then he got hurt. Now he can't. He's like seeing shadows."
He's fragile, dude.
I mean,
He's
that
fragile
was
emotionally.
yeah. He's fragile in the head.
Not even emotionally, mentally fragile. But it's not like his offensive line is helping much. Josh's favorite player, Cosme, is like a revolving door over there. Trey Turner was so bad he got benched.
He got benched for Sadiq. Yeah, Trey Turner, like I said last week, Trey Turner and Norwell, like I thought they were going to be
Those
backups.
guys.
When we signed them, I was like, those guys have to be backups, right? Nope. Starters.
Did you know that Nick Martin dude is the brother of Zach Martin from the Cowboys?
I knew that. I also knew he is not related to Wes Martin.
But he's still a Schweitzer brother.
But they're all Schweitzer brothers. Even though Schweitzer is on an injured reserve.
Does that mean that Zach Martin of the Cowboys is also a Schweitzer brother?
Well, no, because he hasn't played for us. Oh, he might be, though.
But he's the actual brother of Nick Martin, who is a Schweitzer brother.
That's true. I mean, he's an all-pro. The guy might go to the Hall of Fame. He should.
Of course,
Man,
we
Dallas,
get Nick.
Dallas had such a great offensive line for so many years, and they won nothing.
Well, dude, their defense was pretty formidable. I can tell you that. That what's his face? Number 11?
Michael Parsons just destroyed everything in front of him.
Oh, dude, that guy's insane. He would like get blocked at the knees. It's not a chop block, but what is it called where you go low to like take him out at the feet? The offensive line.
Chop block is high and low.
Yeah, well, just the low, like where you dive at their feet. I forget what it's called. They would knock him out of the play. He would get up and run 10 yards and tackle our running back.
Yeah, he would still get up. Like, he's got a great motor.
That dude's insane. That's what I thought we were getting with Chase Young.
Yeah, although, I mean, we'll see, number one, if Chase Young actually comes back this year or not. They're saying it's going to be at least a couple more weeks. We're already 4 games in. That's like a quarter of the season plus a quarter of a game, so 17.
Dude,
I don't know. We may not see much Chase Young this year. So
I'm hoping me, Josh, and Shanny are going to be at the Colts game, and I need to get in touch with Shanny about some pregame, tailgating.
Some Lucas Oil Stadium parking lot tailgating out there.
It's a late game, and I didn't realize that. I'm like, man, I hate late games because I'm hanging out all day. But anyway.
Yeah, no lie.
So anyway, I got to get in touch with him for some pregame action, but supposedly Chase Young has an opportunity to possibly come back for that game, and that's the 30th of October.
Yeah, he might be there. I don't know. I think maybe we'll see him this year. Maybe he'll start getting good in about December, which is so weird because Logan Thomas also had a knee injury, and he's more or less back. He's wearing a brace, but he's out there and he's back. And he's been there since the first game of the year. So I don't know. I mean, every ACL and MCL and UCL and all that stuff, all those injuries, every time is different. And it depends on how much collateral damage there is around which or multiple ligaments you have damage and things such as that. So
everyone's body is different.
Yeah, everyone's body is different.
But you know who is probably coming back? They said they might activate him today, but I didn't hear the official word.
B-Rob.
Did he get activated?
I haven't heard yet. I haven't heard.
Well, hopefully he'll come back and will give us a little spark. I want to talk about this. I read the transcript, I guess, of what Ron Rivera was saying after the game about, all the crap they always say, like, we got to get better. We got to do this better. We got to do that better. And apparently he was just reading the transcript. It looked like he was getting angry and saying things like, this change isn't going to happen overnight.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The change, it's been 2 years and 4 days, man. Year.
If I went into a job and was like, yeah, I'm going to fix this system and we're going to get this changed around and it's just going to work better. And then 3 years later, my boss was like, hey, is that system fixed yet? How's it going on that? And I said, dude, it's not going to happen overnight. No, you've been here for 3 years. Something needs to be happening. Something.
All I know is that we're regressing. We are regressing every year with Ron Rivera.
Dude.
So, and his history with Carolina was kind of the same way, except for that one great year with Cam Newton. So,
Dude.
And the defense, by the way, the defense that year had like 8 guys go to the Pro Bowl that year. The Cam Newton when they went 15-1 and lost the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, he's pretty much been kind of right up our alley, kind of an 8-8 kind of guy.
Dude, he has a worse record at this point than Jay Gruden after this number of games.
Oh, yeah, after this number of games, I'm not surprised at all. The biggest thing with him is that he just talks in a lot of generalities. Like, I never, ever, ever listened to him after the game or listen to him in interviews because it's a bunch of generalities and none of it makes sense because a lot of it's just lies. But, I mean, that's just coach speak.
And he just tells us what we already know. Yeah, we need to get better at completing passes and we need to get better at scoring. Yeah, we know that. We can tell you that. You tell us how you're going to get better. Like, what are you doing to get better? Are we going to have more practices? Are we going to have drills geared at this and that? What are you going to do?
Yeah, really.
I'm done with him.
And this was against a backup quarterback, by the way.
I know Kenny Ken loves him some Rivera, but I'm pretty much done with him.
I think Rivera's done a great job as the face of the organization dealing with all the off the field crap. Because remember, he's also quote unquote the GM, really, when it comes down to it. He's the guy that's in charge.
He's dealing with like babysitting the Danny and keeping him out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
He's good at that, but the on-field stuff is not getting any better.
No, the
on-field and the drafting isn't either. I mean, I don't know.
We got Cam Curl. We got Terry McLaurin was before.
We almost had a pick. We almost had 2 picks. But every time they're too good to be true, someone has a penalty. Let's talk about penalties in this game.
William Jackson III. I'm done with that guy too. This is his.
Sucks.
This is his second year. Good God, his second year with us. What? I don't know what he was.
2 pass interferences. Is that correct?
He can't stop touching people's faces. They just kept showing over and over. He's just grabbing faces, pulling the face mask on the outside and stuff. Dude, you can't do that.
Stop touching dudes' faces.
Stop touching dudes' faces. It's not soccer.
This is not soccer. Oh my gosh. That dude, and Fuller's not any better.
Fuller's terrible. Fuller hasn't been good since he's been back. He's been okay, but he was never been a number 1. That's what William Jackson III was supposed to be. Was supposed to be our number 1 guy, and he's getting penalties from like 4 years ago.
He sucks.
Like 4 years ago, stuff that was going on back then when Aaron thought that there was a rule and now there's not. Yeah.
I mean, the rules. I don't know the rules. I just know that he sucks at playing football.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing between man-to-man and zone, and they're doing some kind of weird zone thing. The zone thing is just every time we play zone, we could really get into that a lot, but I'm not going to get into that. All right, anyway.
It doesn't matter what we play, we suck. Dude, there's a fire alarm going off downstairs.
Are your kids home?
And I smell smoke. I will be right back in 30 seconds. Actually, I'm going to text Suzanne and ask her if everything's all right.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. William Jackson III, what the hey?
He sucks, dude.
Kendall Fuller. I mean, how many times? Every time they got the ball, every time the Cowboys had the ball, it was like first down, and Cooper Rush goes like a 5-step drop and just airs it deep because they know they're going to be able to get our guys on pass interference stuff every time because they don't even know where the freaking ball is in the air.
No, dude. They're either going to get us on a pass interference or their dude will be way open because I was expecting safety help.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he said on that one.
Yeah.
They're either going to have a guy that's broken, way open, because we have like 3 or 4 of those. Like the defense actually played better in this game, except for like
the front line
pass interferences and 3 or 4 brain farts. They have 3 or 4 brain farts every game where we give up like 30 and 40-yard plays.
Yeah, but this one we had like 5 or 6 of those things. Because I mean, Cooper Rush aired it out like at the beginning of each drive every freaking time they had the ball, and it was usually against William Jackson III because he sucks, and they knew they were going to be able to get him, just like you were saying, trying to get pass interference against him or Kendall Fuller or just beating him. And even like Kendall Fuller, there was one where it was just a great pass, and no one's going to defend that pass.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for him because he has passes like that, but then he has passes where he's like doing a pirouette and falling down the ground as the ball is coming into the wide open wide receiver from the other team. So
the number of times this year where there's not even one of our dudes on the screen when a
It's
guy
college
catches
wide
a
open.
pass,
it's college wide
baffles me.
open, man. You don't see that in the NFL usually. You see that in college every Saturday.
There was
Friday night,
one
Thursday
early
night,
in this
Wednesday
game.
night, Tuesday night.
There was one early in this game to Ezekiel Elliott thrown over to the left where he was wide open and no one went with him. I'm like, how do you leave him wide open?
Yeah.
He's one of their, like, you know, jersey selling players. I wouldn't say he's one of their best players anymore. But still, how do you
It
leave
was like
that
a
dude wide
30-something
open?
yard reception. Yeah.
You don't. I'm trying to remember who gave that up. I don't remember. I remembered during the game. I mean, I pointed it out and then I forgot because I'm old. It doesn't matter. Someone gave it up. Yeah, you're right. The defensive line was playing a lot better.
Yeah. Jonathan Allen has been nothing but solid to great ever since he signed that contract extension at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, we shut down the run for the most part in the first half.
Yeah, and we've been pretty good with that up front, surprisingly. Deron Payne is kind of having a banner year. Like, he's going to get paid by somebody if he keeps this up. But it's not going to be us.
Probably not going to be us. It'll be the Cowboys.
That would suck.
Um,
But we may get Trayvon Diggs from the Cowboys when he gets to free agency, whenever that is, because he loves the Redskins, quote unquote.
Well, he
Back in the
destroyed.
day,
He totally destroyed and owned McLaurin the other day.
he did. But again, you know, he made some great plays on McLaurin. The guy's like a feast or famine, like Dion kind of guy. So he made some great plays.
I think that McLaurin was interfered with that one long pass in the first half. Do you think it was interference?
I agree 100%. There were multiple things that were going against us in calls that if we were good, number one, if we were good, and number two, if we were at home and had a full stadium of our home fans, we might get those calls. But in Dallas, with a bunch of dudes dancing around on the sidelines in blue jeans and white T-shirts, nobody wants to hear that.
With the big drums.
Didn't
they used to have them in like cages or something?
Oh, I don't know about that. I thought that was the opera.
What was it like a few years ago? The guys with the drums, they were like up on platforms or something.
I don't know. I like the drums though. You know me. I like the soccer music.
You like the guys in like the white cowboy hats and like chaps?
I do not
playing
like
those
the
big
guys
drums?
in the white cowboys. Short guy. Yeah.
C-Jack said, let's say hi to the people in the peanut gallery. Taylor Bud Lighty Goat, I think.
Yo, C-Jack.
C-Jack 17, 3-peat,
Three-peat,
Kenny
Kenny.
Canada is actually awake and not in a drunken stupor this week.
That's because there's no game tonight.
C-Jack 17 is upset because he didn't. I don't know if Mayo got in there or not. I didn't see him.
I don't know. Do you know what I thought was interesting? And I heard this already. The Cowboys have that Leighton Vander Esch guy and another linebacker. But for the most part, and I've heard that about them this year, they're only playing with like two linebackers a lot, kind of like we are.
Oh, that's where we got the idea from.
Yeah, except they know
one
how
of
to
them
do
is
it
Micah
right.
Parsons, so he can play wherever he wants.
Exactly. One of them, they've got Micah Parsons, and we've got
Obata.
Effie Obata. Cole Holcomb.
King Smith. Cole Holcomb looked like he was making a few good plays this week. I didn't want to dog on him too much. He had some
Cole
plays
Holcomb and
up
Jamin
there.
Davis are doing okay.
Yeah, they're doing better. They're doing better.
But our defensive secondary is just hot garbage.
It's so bad. But it's not as bad as the offense was, dude. We had a good running game in the first half. The Cowboys, guess what? They made adjustments. And then we couldn't run in the second half at all. We couldn't do anything in the second half.
Yep.
At all. I think Terry McLaurin had like 2 catches the whole game.
And I think it was all in the second half.
And And if you didn't hear, our one lone bright spot from the last few games on offense, Jahan Dotson is injured.
Yeah, apparently he tweaked his hamstring. He's going to be out for at least a couple of games, it sounds like.
Yep.
Excuse me. And that's not good because I remember the third quarter, like late in the third or early in the fourth, I was like, what is Jamin Davis doing? No, sorry. What is De'Ami Brown doing in this game? And that's why, because Dotson
It was Brown
hurt.
on Brown for a couple of plays.
It was Brown on Brown. It was Brown on Brown action, man. It's like a weed fest.
What's up, Shanny? Just entered the chat room. I was just mentioning that I needed to chat with you about some pregame tailgating activities for the Colts game. We got to figure that out. Yeah, I mean, the offense, dude, week 1, we were like, dang, we've got a pretty good offense. Even week 2 against the Lions where we came back. But the last 2 weeks, it's just been like...
And the first quarter of that Lions game, too, first half wasn't very good.
Yeah, but when we came back, we were like, okay, we can make changes. And then, well, even this week, I thought it was a good strategy to go in there and try to get the running going and slow down that pass rush.
Absolutely.
And I was watching Micah Parsons like the whole first half, and they were like throwing right at him with screens and like running towards him, like trying to slow him down, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it worked for the most part, and as long as we kept running, but the penalties would kill us. Because we'd get a good run going, and then you'd get a hold.
A hold on the center. Hold on the run.
Or you would get a false start, and as soon as that happened and we had to pass, and the Cowboys knew we were going to pass, it was game over.
Yeah.
Game over, man. Game over.
And the crazy thing about Wentz is that he was so bad, and yet he had that awesome throw to the end zone. We talked about it earlier to Jahan Dotson. So you're just like, it's like feast and famine with him. But it's we're both done with them. So let's talk about. How do I grab my hands?
Sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. All right, what are we talking about? Let's talk about
football, baby.
Let's talk about wins.
Let's talk about wins.
Let's talk about wins, baby. Let's talk. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
this is just water, by the way.
So who should be starting a quarterback this weekend? We know it's going to be Wentz, but who should be starting quarterback? Should it be the rookie Howell or should it be Heineke?
I'd probably put Heineke in at this point and let Howell kind of like, learn more about the playbook and stuff like that. He is only a rookie, and this is week 4, so he needs to learn a little bit. Heineke knows how to run this offense. Put him in there.
Heineke knows how to run this offense, just like Cooper Rush knows how to run the offense in Dallas because he's been there for like 5 years on and off. So exactly, that's exactly a great point because if we had someone like Heineke who knows what he's doing in there, we might have had a chance in this game. And instead, we just got boat raced again.
There's more reasons than that, though. I think we lose a second-round pick if Wentz plays more than 70%. So bench him. We need to get at least 5 games with Heineke playing. So you might as well do those now and see if he actually helps give us a chance for the rest of the season. If he does, keep him in there. If he doesn't, then maybe see if you can put Wentz back in and give him one more chance or bring Howell in later in the season.
Yeah,
but there's no reason to keep Wentz in there when he sucks worse than Cooper Rush, who's in his like 3rd, 5th game ever. Probably making like $100,000 a year. I don't know.
No,
what
he's
making.
Actually pretty good, dude. He's like one of the best. I mean, he's been with Dallas on and off. He's been cut a couple times, but he's been there a while, so he knows their playbook and everything like that. That's why he wasn't like. That's why he was not.
They're not paying him $28 million or whatever.
They're not paying him $28 million, yeah. But he wasn't like Tom DiNucci or whatever that guy's name was.
I know what I'm saying.
Last year,
I'm just saying.
But yeah, I hear you. Yeah, like they were able to beat our $28.3 million quarterback with that backup quarterback.
I want Wentz out. Three-peat's not done with him yet. Short leash. He threw 1 good pass last week, maybe 2. How many interceptions did he throw? How many overthrows did he throw? How many? At people's feet did he throw?
Last year when Heineke went in those games, that team looked like they had all been lifted up. they're all just like, yeah, we got a guy here we can compete with who's got heart.
At least Heineke has some presence.
Wentz.
Heineke has some awareness in the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. If he's getting crushed, he's going to run out and use his legs to get some yardage.
He's not going to get 5 grounding penalties in 4 games.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that's been really surprising to me because we have the super tall quarterback, and he keeps getting at least 1 intentional grounding every game. When was the last time we had a quarterback that you saw that? Which is really funny because we've had a lot of bad quarterbacks.
Griffin the third.
Yeah.
But at least, dude, you see the dude coming. Everyone in the stands and watching on television is going, throw it.
It's like 3 steps
throw
to throw the ball.
Somewhere. Just throw it somewhere. You're going to get sacked. And what does he do? He waits till he's falling down and throws a little baby kitten throw 4 yards shy of the line of scrimmage, or he throws it to where there's no one, and like you see Logan Thomas running to the ref like, I was over here, and they're like, no, you weren't, dude.
No, you weren't.
You were like 40 yards away. He has no awareness.
Yep.
None. I'm done with him, and I'm done with Ron Rivera, and I'm done with Jack Del Rio, and
I think we're on the same page there.
Throw other dudes in. Put them in. They can't play worse.
This weekend is going to be a big deal because we're playing Tennessee. We're playing the Nashville next. We're playing the Nashville next, and we have to win this game. If we lose this game, we're going to be 1-4. The season is going to be over.
And everyone else in our division is 3-1 right now.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Except for Philadelphia, they're 4-0. Philadelphia is looking like a. Philadelphia is looking a little. I don't know. Philadelphia is looking like the cream of the crop in the NFC East here after a quarter of the season. I hate to say.
I thought they were going to get beat by Jacksonville. Well, I was hoping because weren't they losing like 14-0 at one point?
They were, and Jacksonville's got their old coach and everything, so it sounds like that would have been awesome if it happened. But Jacksonville's, I mean, Urban Meyer just destroyed that franchise last year. They've got a lot of digging to get out of that.
Dude, I got a question.
So many bad habits for Sunshine Taylor Lawrence, man.
All those false start penalties that we had, there was at least 2 or 3. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
But was he induced?
There was one where he was induced because they actually called it on Dallas.
They did, yeah.
But oh my gosh.
I mean, this is a game. I mean, there were some referee things that were stupid calls that were questionable and stuff like that. But when you start complaining about the refs after every loss, I mean, it's just excuses, man. We got thoroughly outplayed by Dallas.
We got thrashed.
We got James thrashed.
It's not like we lost by 3 points because they didn't call a pass interference play.
Yeah, exactly. Like 25-10 might as well have been 45-10.
But yet, if you look at the stats, and I haven't brought them up, I think we have more total yards than them somehow.
We might have. Let me look that up. I got it.
Yeah, bring those stats up. Repeat. It's the logic thing to do. You brought him in for a reason, paid him a ton, and made him a starter. This is your position. Yes, but there's a whole thing. Cutting your losses. It's called a sunk cost.
Sunk cost fallacy.
He's a sunk cost. And people, I learned this in business school. People tend, if they spend a lot of money on something, they have a hard time admitting to themselves that it was a mistake. And they'll keep someone longer than they should, or whatever it is in business. They'll do longer than they should because they don't want to admit to themselves that it's a mistake. And the more you paid for it, the harder it is to cut your losses and move on.
So you're saying that $28.3 million to Carson Wentz might just be a mistake. That's what you're trying to say.
A big one that they want to try to hold out longer than they should, and I say that time to cut them is now.
I say the time to cut them is now as well. But this weekend,
let me give you a different outlook, though. Let me give you a different outlook. Instead of saying we're paying $28.3 million for Carson Wentz, how much does Taylor Heineke make this year? $1 million?
$2 million?
$2 million? And Howell makes about less than $1 million, probably?
Probably, because he's a 4th rounder, 5th rounder.
So just say that we pay $31 million for 3 dudes, and you pick whichever one's playing the best. I don't care if it's going to him or him. You got 3 quarterbacks. Pick the one that's playing the best, and just look at it as you're paying $10 million for each of your quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Done.
And we also know that Carson Wentz does $125,000 every time he wins a game. It's like Joe Theismann. It's like Joe Theismann right before Super Bowl 17 was like, and there's like $25,000 for each one of us if we win this game, or whatever his quote was in the huddle right before the game started.
Yeah.
Oh
when
man,
people played because they cared and
inflation.
needed money.
They paid back then when all offensive linemen had car dealerships.
At Eastern Motors.
Yo, Jojo. All right. Here's speaking of music that's been around for a long time, Eastern Motors.
Wentz needs to cut.
Oh, yeah. So, total yards. Go back to that. Total yards. Washington Commanders, 297 total yards. Dallas Cowboys, 279.
They also had 2 turnovers, and they had none.
Yeah, 2 turnovers. Tress Way had a good game.
I saw a little bit of Jimmy G playing last night in the first half, and he was playing way better than Wentz.
Yeah, I saw you posted that in our Discord chat room / tiny URL / Harry HF. But for the most part, Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know. I mean, they were about to trade Jimmy Garoppolo to us for whatever multiple draft picks we were going to offer them, and then we decided not to because he had surgery on his throwing shoulder. So that's why we didn't get him. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and talk about all the other quarterbacks, because we got Carson Wentz the offseason. Some people really, really, really hated that we got him and didn't try to do something else. But let's go through all the other quarterbacks that have been out there so far. Yeah, let's go through them. So Jimmy Garoppolo really hasn't been that good. Honestly, like you saw a little bit of him, that's fine, but he has plays where, I mean, it's Wentz-esque, some of the stuff you see him do, and you're just like, what is he doing? It's kind of hard to explain it because people said the same thing to us about Carson Wentz, and we're like, okay, but then we see him do it in the first 4 games. We're like, what is he doing?
Oh, he drives me crazy, dude.
Yeah. This guy obviously. I don't know.
He obviously has the skill, but he just can't deliver.
Yeah, and he also thinks his body is like that of a 22-year-old that came out of college, and he's got multiple serious injuries, so he needs to. I don't know. I'd rather see Heineke for 5 to 8 games. Cut! And then we can put in Howell at the end of the season and see what's going on.
Dude, Heineke's at least fun to watch.
Heineke beat Tom Brady. Heineke beat Super Bowl champion Tom Brady. I just want to point that out because people keep forgetting about that. He beat Super Bowl champion Tom Brady.
And it was a revenge game for him. Talk about heart, dude, because remember the playoff game before?
I remember when we almost
close.
Won. Yeah, and everyone was like, that was the one where guys were crowding around him and Chase Young was behind him pointing at his jersey going, Heineke.
And you'll remember last year I called that win against Tampa Bay.
You did. You were the only person who did.
I called it. Yeah, but I called it because of that reason, dude. Because Heineke was like, that was stewing. He had his chance. He came in, he almost beat him. So he was like, I can beat him. He did.
Yeah. All right, so Jimmy G's all right. I don't see Jimmy G being – Jimmy G is the only one of these quarterbacks that we talked about that we might have gotten in the offseason who might have been as good or maybe better than Wentz. Who are the other guys we were talking about? Trubisky?
He's already benched.
He's already benched. Marcus Mariota is not hurt yet. I can't believe Marcus Mariota is not hurt yet. Hurt yet. Baker Mayfield sucks.
Dude,
he's the guy. Baker Mayfield was the guy that I thought we should have gone after, but he is.
Dude,
yeah.
It sucks that we're talking about this after week 4, but from what I'm hearing, and people like Kenny Ken will know better than us. But there is a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of the draft, supposedly.
Yeah. Last year was just not a good year. Like, we really got lucky that we had Sam Howell, and maybe we can get him to be a starter at some point. We'll see.
Just get 3 of these dudes like we've been talking about. We got Howell. Sweet. That's one guy that has an opportunity that we don't know if he can make it or not.
Yeah, I'm tired of these retread. I'm tired of these retread quarterbacks. Just get your own guys and bring them up. That's how they found Tom Brady. He was a 6th round draft pick.
Yeah. This Wentz guy, we know he sucks.
What you were going to say, yeah. Go ahead.
He sucks. Get 2 or 3 dudes.
Every
Get him.
year in the draft, get
If
two
a
or
guy
three
falls
dudes.
to the 5th round for some reason where he was already projected to go in the 1st round the year before, take a shot at him.
Yeah, sure. I mean, competition.
pickup.
If you have a quarterback competition, it's just going to make them better. In my opinion, anytime you have competition in sports between two guys playing the same position, they make each other better, unless they suck. But for the most part, they make each other better.
And
So
I don't want to. We're gonna suck the rest of the year. I'm just gonna.
Oh,
go
this
ahead and
year,
call it.
it's
Do you want to suck and give up a high 2nd round pick because
Exactly.
of Wentz playing more than 70% of the snaps? I don't.
By the way, the Eagles have like a top 5 pick right now, even though they're 4-0. They have a top 5 pick after they had 2 top 10 picks last year.
Yeah.
And
And
we've
the
got
Colts
bugs with
are
Washington
gonna have
State on them.
if we lose all the rest of our games, which I'm hoping we don't, but if we lose all the rest of our games and we have like the 1st overall pick, they're already saying we're one of the bottom 3 teams in the league. So say we have pick 2. Say we have pick 2. You know what that means? The Colts for Wentz, if he stays in, is going to get like pick number 34.
34, yeah, exactly.
For him sucking. Bench him at least for 5 games. See what these other dudes can do. If you want to do it later in the season after he's proven to suck, even though we already know it, fine. But don't have him in there in December. Figure out what that 70% is and make sure you're way below it and put him in. Get him on the bench. Because I, for one, do not want to give up a 2nd round pick for this dude.
No way. We've already given up enough for the other 2 picks that we gave him. It's a mess. It's a super mess.
Gotta cut our
But
losses.
I'm not really sure what would have been a better choice from Ron Rivera this year because, again, a weak draft class of quarterbacks. We knew that all the free agent quarterbacks and people we could trade for were none of them are great by far. I mean, there's only like 5 great quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah. If you want to look at it that way, dude, I don't think he's done the wrong thing yet. He did the best he could. He gave Wentz a quarter of a season, and he knows that he sucks, so bench him and cut your losses.
Excuse me. I mean, how long did we have Dwayne Haskins in there? I know he wasn't one of Ron's guys, but I mean, he was in there for how many games? Like a handful. And finally, it was just like, you're benched, son.
You're benched. Do it again.
Yeah. It's obvious because Carson ain't it. He is not.
And at least if you do it now, when we're 1-4, 1-3, at least if you do it now and Heineke comes in and delivers a spark, hey, we might have a chance to actually win something, and then you still cut wins. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. It's.
I don't see how we lose by benching Wentz.
Yeah, I don't see anything negative coming from benching Carson Wentz already. I think we both think, and I think a lot of people think the time for that is now.
Yep. We've beat this horse to death.
Yeah.
Is that the proper saying? I always mess up those.
Beat this horse to death.
Is that the saying?
Sure.
We beat the dead horse? What? Don't beat the dead horse?
Quit beating the dead horse.
I don't know what the saying is, but we've done it enough. We've done it enough. All right. In fact, we've done that for 48 minutes. Oh my gosh. Does anyone else want us to talk about? Someone put something in the chat room that I wanted to mention. And
we talked about the other quarterbacks.
O-line, they suck. They're all injured. We're on our 4th string. Dude, we might get Tyler Larson back, I heard.
We might get Tyler Larson.
Week?
We just cut John Toth, the male model, and we signed Kiefer Sutherland, the guard. I'm sorry, Keaton Sutherland. His name is Keaton Sutherland.
Like,
my bad.
Seriously?
So Kiefer Sutherland is our backup guard.
Tyler Lawson. Not Lawson, Larson. Tyler Larson.
Lawson.
Did I say Lawson? I meant
Maybe.
Larson.
I don't know. So yeah.
Isn't his name Tyler? Am I wrong? Now I'm second guessing.
I think, Tyler Larson, yeah.
Isn't his name Tyler? The center? 4th string center?
I don't even know if he's on the team right now.
Yeah, he is. He's on like the unable to perform list of somewhat or another. He's on the team. Anyway, hopefully we can get him back because Nick Martin and those Comanthers, they just suck.
I'm not sure if Tyler Larson's on the team right now. I'm looking up. Let's see.
Okay, three-peat. I hear what you're saying on this. Benching him too soon will be the desire to bring him back in and prove that they were. Can I see this? See that they were correct later in the season. Okay, well, bring him back in after he can't possibly get 70% then. That's fine. I just thought it was odd that Ron Rivera, that whole 3 years, and he's saying, you expect things overnight. Like, I can't stand what they say, the coaches, and they just have excuses. And
Yep, that's what they do.
We've already said that.
Yeah. I don't think Tyler Larson is on the team. I don't see him on the roster. And I didn't think he was on the team this year.
What? Real?
Yeah.
I thought we were getting him back.
Reserve physically unable to perform. Tyler Larson. Okay.
You found the list.
Found it.
Him and Brian Richardson Jr. is on there.
Not anymore.
Why not?
He might be on the roster.
Did he get promoted back up?
Let's
I haven't
see.
seen
What
the
number,
news.
What number is he wearing? 8?
26.
20. Who? 26?
Yeah.
I don't see him on there.
Isn't he?
He's not on the regular he's not on the regular roster. You know who is? Rashad Wild Goose.
Is his name even Brian Richardson? Dude, I might have messed that up. The dude that got shot. Okay.
I think it is.
Okay.
Joey Sly hit a field goal.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone
this year.
right now. You did? He did? Oh, yeah, he did. He's 1 of 1 on field goals. You can't cut him.
No. Trustway had a great game.
It's Robinson, dude, not Richardson.
Oh.
I knew I was messing it up. Let's see. Brian Richardson. Let's see. Brian Robertson. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is actually vodka, you guys. Just saying. Brian Robinson. Dude, we're getting so old. We need to stop doing this show. Brian Robinson. What's the deal with him? I'm looking in the news category. Yep. It just says they're optimistic. I don't see any thing that says it says he was cleared to play, but it doesn't say they've activated him.
They'll probably do that tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably put that up there tomorrow.
They probably don't want to give the Titans, Nashville Knicks, extra. It's like intel. They want to keep it on the DL so they don't know who to prepare for.
Right.
To which the coach of the Bears would just be like, "Yeah, we don't prepare any differently if it's him or the other guy in there." You know. Well, dude, I've got a new graphics for our segments here.
Oh, really?
If they actually work. Here we go. Make sure you're watching, dudes, on YouTube.
Dun, dun, dun,
Chat, right?
dun, dun, dun.
All right, you ready? You haven't seen this.
Mm-mm.
And now, the coveted and ever-elusive Game Ball Award.
Nice.
You see it? Do you like
Very
that?
nice. Very nice.
Game Ball Award. It's not brought to you by anybody because we don't email the people back that actually want to advertise with us. Dude, what if I email them back and be like, we have like 10 people that listen? You guys want to still sponsor us?
No way. We got to be like, dude, we have thousands.
We got
of people.
thousands of people. Thousands and millions.
Thousands of Comanthers fans out there.
We have more fans than they're in the stadium on a Sunday.
Maybe true.
Hey, 3Pete liked the graphics. Did you guys see the intro at the beginning? You got to go back and watch on Spotify or YouTube. I spent a lot of time on the new intro unit graphics. Anyway, game balls. Okay, go ahead and give yours, John.
Trustway.
Again?
Next. What do you? Well, I don't have anyone else to talk about. The team sucks.
Okay.
Nobody stood out. Nobody stood out. Was just like, I'm awesome. The rest of these guys suck. No one did that. Like Jahan Dotson had that one catch for a touchdown.
The one that was under. He also had that underthrown one that when Wentz actually scrambled and threw it to him, he barely could dive and catch it. He had that one.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to give mine to Jahan Dotson then because
that's a good.
He's
one.
been like the bright spot on the team, and
one of them.
I could give him to
the biggest one.
Antonio Gibson had a pretty good day too. What was his final stats?
1349, long of 11.
Seemed like he had
average
more.
3.8, but once you take that 11 out, it's going to make it 12
running back
of
committee
38.
McKissick.
Yeah, Jonathan Williams had a good game. He didn't rush very much, but he had that long 23-yard run.
Yeah, that good one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm still giving mine to Dotson.
Yeah.
So we got Tressway, we got Dotson, and we got everyone in the peanut gallery can now chime in. Repeat has already done so with his game ball going to Dotson.
Yeah.
Very original, dude. Just kidding. Let's see. Shanny and Chen in Nova Scotia are frantically putting theirs. Logan Thomas plays hard and doesn't look depressed.
And doesn't look depressed.
He's solid.
Okay, this is exactly a problem we have. At one point near the end of the game, Carson Wentz was walking off the field after he did something stupid. And of all people, Logan Thomas went over to put his arm around him and was like buddy with him, trying to get him to like, come on, dude, shape up.
Buck up, dude.
We can still win this game. The tight end, former quarterback, was saying this to Jeff George II, who's our quarterback.
Dude, are we going to just dub him Jeff George II?
I am now. Yeah, he's Jeff George II.
I'm going to name this episode that. Jeff George II.
Chen in Nova Scotia said game ball goes to Sharp or Donish. When we could actually win a game, and we were terrible in the late 90s. Good Lord.
Sharp or Donish. Sharp or Donish, John's most hated player, arguably his most hated player of all times, him and Daryl Pounds.
Boy, man, yeah.
It's Daryl Pounds. I wish I could find that soundbite, dude, of Sonny saying that.
It's Daryl Pounds.
Or was it Sam? Who was it?
I think it was Sam.
It was Sam. If I could find
I think if Sonny would say it, and Sam would just be like, it's Daryl Pounds. Like, duh, we know he sucks.
Who was on the coverage? Who's on that coverage? It's Daryl Pounds.
We know it's not Daryl Green.
Yeah, we know that. David Mayo of the past. Oh. Daryl Pounds was a cornerback.
And he played opposite Daryl Green, so all the balls went to Daryl Pounds' direction because no one would throw on Daryl Green for years.
Yeah, I mean, remember when people used to be like, well, Daryl Green didn't have that many picks or whatever? It's because no one threw it there.
For years, they'd be like, he only had like 3 picks this year. It's like, yeah, they only threw on him 3 times too.
You didn't have to worry about that whole side of the field, ever.
Exactly. I mean, that was...
Oh, man.
Man, we didn't know how good we had it back in the 80s and early 90s.
Because we were kids, dude. We hadn't been in the bitter world long enough, and our team actually won back then.
And our team was really good then before Dan Snyder got his grubby mitts on him.
You know who's starting to finally get a taste of that? Patriots fans. Like kids that for like their entire lives, their team has been like super good. And now they're like,
yeah, because I mean, the Patriots went to 2 Super Bowls and lost them horribly. I think both to the 49ers.
I don't know, dude. I can't keep their Super Bowls straight.
I mean, like in the 80s and 90s kind of thing. Like,
back when they had, what's his face, Patriot Pat on their helmet, like bent over. When they had that guy bending over on the helmet.
Dude, like he was getting ready to hike the ball.
Yeah.
Patriot Pat or Pat Patriot.
It just looked, it was like so weird. He was like dressed up like a Patriot, but yet he was hiking a football through his legs on the helmets. I don't know. It was...
I like Pat Patriot or Patriot Pat. I have no idea.
I didn't. I hate the Patriots.
You hate the Patriots because they ran the score up on us. So that's why.
Chen in Nova Scotia.
To which I say we had a defense that are being paid.
Chen, I've had more.
There he is. There he is, standing in our chat room on Discord. There he is. Yeah, Eason. That's who it is. That's who it was. Eason is the quarterback.
Dude, you asked
how back in the day when the AFC would like go to the Super Bowl and just gets trounced every year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's flip-flopped. Well,
That's flipped up a lot.
um,
I like
yeah,
Pat
anyway.
Patriot.
Yeah, he looks cooler on here, that Shanny, than I remember him. I remember him being a little more.
Maybe his
Quickish.
face wasn't so angry when he was on in the 1980s.
Yeah, maybe they've adapted him. Like they've made him into a superhero. But I remember him being like this tiny little like, you know, fife and drums guy. Like.
Well, maybe it's because every time we saw the Patriots back in the day when they had those helmets, it was on like, I don't know, 180p on some crappy, humongous
It wasn't P,
televisions that were like this deep.
It was 480i, dude. 480i.
I don't think it was even 480.
I'm pretty sure it was, but you know who can answer that question? Three-peat, because he works at a TV studio.
Oh,
so
that's right. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Is anyone else
let's go to
giving
the kicking
games and
balls,
kicks?
man.
That's it. They're not giving them. Okay.
Yeah, we need to do the kicks.
It's time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
Kicking the Balls Award, as always, brought to you by Redapoo.
Carson Wentz.
Let me think about
He's
who
fragile,
I'm going to give
man.
him.
He's
I'm giving-
fragile.
Okay, we've talked about him for 45 to 50 minutes, so yes, that's a good
Most
one.
of it, yeah.
I'm giving mine to William Jackson the third.
Oh man. Quit touching people's faces, dude. Dang, cut.
Doug, what is it? Doug, what is it?
We are the commanders. We are the commanders.
And every time I hear that, I just go,
All right, now he found a picture of the Super Bowl shirt and he put it on there, and see how much wimpier he looks in that picture?
Oh, it's because it's just not that
Not clear
you can
enough.
see. It's not clear enough.
Oh, okay, so when it's far away, you don't have the resolution in the 480i that we had.
I mean, that's a shirt from the 80s. It was
Yeah. 480i, you couldn't tell that he was tough looking. He just didn't have it.
Shannon says he's given his kick to the entire. Oh wait, you haven't done yours yet, Aaron. No, you did. Win Jackson III. He's given his to the entire coaching staff. Yeah, that's right. The Patriots lost to the Bears in that one, and that was the '85 Bears.
Oh,
Which
I remember
Ron
watching
Rivera
that
was
game.
on that team, by the way.
They had the refrigerator.
Yeah, and Ron Rivera.
Oh, really? He's
Uh-huh.
a contemporary with the fridge.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember him, but I wasn't a Bears fan.
No, you remember Michael Singletary. When you think of their linebackers, you think of Mike Singletary because he had those really big eyes.
Yeah, I remember Singletary. And I remember Sweetness. And I remember the fridge. And I remember Jim McMahon with his headband.
And Sweetness, of course. And Jim McMahon. And Super
That's
Bowl
about all the
Shuffle.
dudes I remember from them, because all I watched were the Redskins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
And we
still
didn't have
listen to
we didn't
all
have
that.
things like the red zone back in the day, you know.
Ron Rivera. All right. So what do we need to do? We've got one more thing we have to do before we wrap this thing up, because we're already at an hour and 3 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And I've got a graphic for it. Ready?
All right. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh.
It's time for Aaron's precarious predictions. You may realize that I recycled that music from the Dockery Report back in the day, for those of you who have been on here forever. The Dockery Report.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Dockery, but really speaking of Eric Flowers, who was the other guard, the left guard that we did not re-sign. People
where's
like,
he
why don't we
playing?
go sign him? Well, he hasn't signed with anybody. So, do you think he's really like in football shape at this point?
He's got to be, dude. I don't know, but let's go give him a tryout, because he's got to be better than Trey Turner.
I don't think he's in football shape. I don't know if he's going to play again.
You would
Honestly.
think that
He got $10 million a year from us for being a guard.
He played good for those 2 years.
He did, but remember, he was drafted as a tackle. He was awful as a tackle. And
Yeah,
they
he
got
was
so
awful.
much money for being awful as tackle and so much money for being great as a guard.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's 32 teams. Someone would have signed him by now. This is week 5 of the NFL season. Someone should have signed him by now. So either he doesn't want to play or like he shows up and they're just like, dude, you're no offense, but you're like fat.
Dude.
But
Can I
then
give my
again, they could say that about Andrew Norwell too, because that guy is round.
Can I give my precarious prediction?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my bad.
Here's my precarious prediction. We're playing the Nashville Necks at home. I saw earlier this week they were already like 2.5 point favorites over us. So, here's my prediction. We're gonna suck for the most part, but Brian Robinson Jr. is gonna have a good game. He's gonna strap on 100 yards himself, and
strap those bags on, son. Let's go.
he's gonna carry the team on his back. He's going to be trying to, in his first NFL action, he's going to be trying to outduel Derrick Henry on the other side of the ball.
That's going to be frightening.
This is going to be a low-scoring affair. I'm predicting that
We are the Commanders.
are going to come out of this game victorious to the tune of 17-13, but there's a caveat. Only if we wear our burgundy jerseys.
Oh, I wonder what we're wearing today.
If we don't, it's all out the window, dude. I can't predict it because I've seen in my dreams the burgundy jerseys, and if they're not there. By the way, I thought those black uniforms actually looked pretty good on the field. Like, remember how I was complaining that they looked like the Steelers, but the Steelers have white numbers, don't they? So it doesn't really look like the Steelers.
They need more burgundy in there, but other than that, I thought the jerseys
line
were really nice. Yeah, like a thicker burgundy line or something. But burgundy on black is going to be hard to see.
Yeah, if that's why they need to
Gold is
make it
not.
thicker around the number, a thicker burgundy. But I thought it looked pretty cool. The W on the helmet didn't bother me either because it was kind of far away, small.
It was kind of small. Yeah. I'd still like them to flat black those helmets and get rid of that W though.
The flat black would look sweet. Chin in Nova Scotia says that a low-scoring affair. Yeah, our score will be low.
We're going against Tennessee Titans, the Nashville Necks, who are 2-2 this weekend.
Who'd they beat?
Where are they?
Dude, all I know is we have to win this game or we're done, and Wentz is benched. If Wentz doesn't win this game, he's benched, in my opinion. Well, he should be,
and he should be benched. Yeah. There's Tennessee. They've gone 2-2. They are 27th against the pass, 20th against the run, and 29th total yards per game. We should destroy these guys, but we should be about even badly.
With them. We should be even with them, so it's anyone's game. But I said it's going to be 17-13 us if we wear the burgundies.
Yeah. All right.
So that's it. I think we can round this thing out. Oh, I did want to point out, was this like the third week in a row we had less than like 50 yards in the first half? Because it seemed like it.
It might have been. It sure did seem like it, didn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to get way into that because we're like an hour and 10 minutes into this thing. So,
Let's see. We went 13 yards on the first drive. We went -5 yards on the second quarter. 7 plays, 30 yards. 7 plays, 65 yards. We got a touchdown. And then 4 plays, 12 yards through an interception. So we may have.
Depends on the negative yards.
95, 105, 107, 102. Okay, yeah, it's just over 100 yards. It's like 115.
Is that subtracting out the negative yards?
Yeah.
What about the intentional groundings? Intentional grounding should be negative yards too, or the penalties.
It should be, yeah.
We had like almost 150 yards of penalties, dudes.
From the spot of the foul, and you lose the down. It's just a terrible thing to keep having anyway.
All right, we're done. Out, dude. We're done with this thing. Let's round it out.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a shout out to all of our friends over in chat room. If If you guys want to join the chat room, you need to come into our Discord server, which is tinyurl.com/HarryHF.
But was he induced?
But was he induced?
You can also reach us on our hog line and leave a message if you need to vent, and that number is 202-735-1788, just a local call to Washington, D.C. Send us an email, Harry Hog Podcast. Is that it? I don't even remember the email address at gmail.com.
Are you sure you're not drunk?
I don't know. There might have been violence. I didn't sleep well last night.
I didn't sleep well last night either. That's why I took a nap today.
Um,
Because I'm old.
Anyway, I think that rounds it out. We'll talk to you guys next week. I can't even say it, dude. If you see a Cowboys fan this week,
Joke 'em.
joke them. You know why? Because
We are the Commanders.
Ha ha! Oh, I heard it
Bye,
that time.
all right, dudes.